Conversation commitments. Before we get started, here are our conversation commitments that you can apply to your discussion. We ask that everyone does their best to practice these commitments during your time together. The 4 conversation commitments are being present, listening, no you statements, and no crosstalk. We all want you to be present during our discussion. Don't be distracted by cell phones, side conversations, email, or other things that may hinder you or others. Focus on the person talking and let them know that you are engaged. Give them the respect that they deserve. One of the best ways of loving one another is by listening. Using nonverbal cues such as eye contact, smiling, and head nods are a great way to listen without speaking. When someone is talking, make them feel that they are on center stage. Allow everyone to have an equal chance to join in the conversation. Don't dominate discussion topics, but rather let others speak before yourself. Encourage one another with a follow-up question to let them know you are listening intently. No you statements, only I statements. Statements that begin with you make others feel that you're blaming them. How would you feel if you were in their shoes? Rather speak from a place that no one can argue with, your feelings. Practice using an I statement, such as I feel or I get, and be aware of how you say those comments. And finally, the last conversation commitment is no crosstalk. Crosstalk is when one person is speaking out of turn. This usually happens when there is a side conversation or joke when someone else in the group is speaking. This is distracting for everyone, including the person sharing. Everyone has a voice, and if someone is speaking, make them feel like their thoughts matter. Thank you all for listening, and I hope that you have a fantastic time together. Family is a beautiful thing. Every member is unique and has their own special qualities. You may or may not be getting together frequently, but setting aside a specific time and space for purposeful conversations sets a different tone than a casual impromptu discussion. Family discussions don't need to be complicated, but carving out a time and place for an intentional conversation allows for the family to move forward collectively as a unit. Learning how to communicate together requires consideration that each individual processes information differently. Some may require different amounts of time to think through the situation or see more detail before moving forward. As you navigate conversations together, be aware that not everyone processes information the same way that you do. Harmony usually means that there is inclusion and consensus. People want to feel that they have been heard and listened to. Once a family decides on the goals of the discussion, they need to figure out how quickly they want to achieve that goal. For example, if I want to go 60 miles from San Francisco, point A, to Palo Alto, point B, I have multiple modes of transportation. Within those options are multiple options. I could walk, bike, take the bus, or drive my car. I might even be able to get on a flight. Should I take the freeway or the back road? To make my best choice, I need to know a couple of things about my trip. How quickly do I need to get there? What is the cost? How much time do I have if things go wrong, such as a flat tire or traffic jam? What would I miss if I took the long route? What little nuances would be missed by taking the freeway? This simple illustration can be applied to determining the amount of time or pace of the conversation. Knowing when to walk the scenic route versus taking the expressway can make all the difference in the outcome of a conversation. Some discussions require the slowest route possible, given the complexities, and some are optimal with the highway. The highway will get you to the end faster, but detail and thoroughness may be lacking. A simple equation I like to use to determine how much time to allot to different family discussions is the following. Family harmony equals complexity of discussion divided by time. If the topic is complex for the family members, the longer amount of time you are going to need to process that information together as a family. However, the easier the topic, the less time and effort it will take to make that decision. As you think about this illustration, keep in mind how others process information and be patient with their timeliness. As you navigate conversations, be aware of the complexity of the topic and what route you should take together.